We talked about this through the week, how the cold air will be split into two pieces. So the first one went through, it came through on the beginning on Friday night, delivered some snow, and then the cold air came through the day on Saturday and into the morning here, where we hit the coldest temperature of negative 11 degrees. And so this next wave of Arctic air, which is coming in, this snow that we're about to feel tonight, it may not be too impressive as far as the snow goes, but that is the very Arctic front of the next system that will be pushing in. And that cold air will come in, the coldest part of that air will start to come in tomorrow afternoon. And so that is why the potential for Tuesday morning is so cold. So let's take a look at some of the data out there right now. We have the cold air alerts. So we don't have any snow alerts, no winter weather advisories, no winter storm warnings in place for this wave of snow coming, mainly because it's light in nature, it's fast moving, won't last too long. But when you see the color coded here on the map, you're looking at the blue areas, the light blue areas, that is it's called a cold weather advisory. So we don't get these too often in Colorado because we usually get wind chill advisories, but since the wind is a very small factor in the wind chill this time around, it's mainly the cold temperatures and a breeze, they have gone more with a cold weather advisory because the air temperature, the actual ambient air temperature, we could see down into the negative 10 range, and the wind chills into the negative 25, as low as negative 25. And then we have an extreme cold watch in place. That's the green areas down there. That's where the National Weather Service is still watching for conditions to be right for either a cold weather advisory or an extreme cold warning, which is what they have out in Yuma County right now. The Yuma County is actually handled by the National Weather Service in Goodland, and they have decided to go ahead and issue a warning for extreme cold conditions tonight into Tuesday morning. Same thing for parts of southeastern Wyoming and the Nebraska Panhandle as well. So let's look at those forecast low temperatures. We're sticking with -4 as of right now here in Denver, -4 in Greeley, -5 in Fort Collins, although we know that cold front, that next Arctic front, is moving through. In fact, it's moving through Fort Collins already, approaching the front range right now, where they've seen some snow. It's mostly light snow, but that will likely result in accumulating snow. So that will be one of the impacts tonight. Wind chill would be the other impact, -15 to -25 degree wind chill. Now, that is the potential here on the Front Range, and frostbite could set in just 30 minutes at that with those temperature range. So you need to limit your exposure to less than 30 minutes. So, for example, me out here doing this forecast, I'm going to want to cover up my nose and my ears here in about 20 minutes or so. With the wind chill factor here, let's look at the forecast to look at the timing of this. There's the lowest in the forecast right now, -21 degrees. That would be tomorrow night. So let's back this up to tonight, and you see those negative wind chills starting even right after midnight, getting down into those negatives, but we're not seeing the same -20 to -30 range that we saw last night and early Sunday morning, so that the potential there is just a little bit less. And then once we start getting into Monday night into Tuesday morning, you see a -21 wind chill there at 8 p.m. tomorrow. That would be pretty significant. That would be something to really be concerned about, and it could equal what we saw on Sunday morning as far as the first wave of cold air came. So the forecast highs for your Monday would be mainly in the single digits. That Greeley and Fort Collins forecast temperature there is having some issues. There's no way it's going to make it into the 20s tomorrow. in Fort Collins or Greeley. I think single-digit high temperatures are likely, if not in the lower teens. You could even say 13 and 14 would be reasonable there, but I think they would be even colder than that, because we're going to have that cold air, really the bulk of it, start to press in through the day tomorrow. So that will be very difficult to get those temperatures up above single digits for tomorrow. And as far as that snow that's coming tonight, we're already seeing it move through the northern front range. It's mostly pretty light stuff, and it's moving pretty quick. I mean, the potential is to get 1 to 2 inches out of this, but from what we have seen so far from videos and live cameras and also radar presentation, not looking too impressive. It looks like pretty light snow, that the kind of snow that would have to snow for about 5 hours to actually get a ½ inch of accumulation. Let me back that up, because you can see by 11 o'clock we have already got some snow here in the Denver metro area. So let's rack that back slowly there. So again, this computer model has been pretty consistent. With about 9 o'clock we start to see that move into the northern front range, and then by 10 we have snow throughout the Denver metro area. Very light snow, and you can see how fast moving this is. Even by 2 a.m. it starts to get a little bit broken up, but I think the bulk of it will be over by about 5 a.m., 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then after that, we're mainly looking at flurries until about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And then this cold air is actually, or the clouds and the snow will actually press out. And that will leave us with clear conditions on Monday night. And that is part of the formula why we believe that Tuesday morning is going to be one of the coldest. It could rival the negative 11 that we saw at Denver International Airport this morning. On this computer forecast model, you can see here at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, temperatures already 1 degree in Denver, 4 in Fort Lupton, 1 in Loveland, and -7 in Elizabeth. So that's pretty quick to get into those really cold temperatures. So the potential for Tuesday morning is pretty significant, and we could even be chasing a record, which is -15 for that day. I'll talk more about that in a second. But you look at your snow forecast here, and we're sticking with the 1 to 2 inches, even though from the information that we're seeing so far with this wave coming through is not very impressive. But if it does fill out and snow all the way till 5 a.m., I could definitely see getting more than an inch, but getting more than 2 inches out of that would be difficult. But even 1 inch could be impactful on the roads at these temperatures. So that's something to be noteworthy if you're traveling tonight, late tonight, or very early tomorrow morning, that there could be some fresh snow on the roads impacting your travel. And let's look at the jet stream forecast here, and this is basically the air, the weather pattern, the air right above our heads that dictates our weather down here on the surface. And you see that big blob of low pressure all over in almost the entire country, kind of coming down into the midsection. That's that polar vortex event that we've been experiencing since Friday night. And as will this be a historic cold snap? I do believe it will, and probably not in Colorado, but if we kind of take it more of a large context, we could see some pretty big impacts. Like right here on Tuesday, the very bottom of this trough of low pressure, it's almost more of a blob of low pressure, moves through the southern states, and it could bring accumulating snow to places like Houston, Texas, New Orleans, Louisiana, Mobile, Alabama, Tallahassee, Florida. So these places that don't often get accumulating snow, and for most of them haven't seen any accumulating snow since the polar vortex of 2018. So it could be significant. And then you see, as we put the forecast in motion here, we actually kind of get a quick warm up on Tuesday, and then Wednesday night we have another little system moving through, and that'll cool us down significantly on Thursday before one more warm day on Friday. If you look at that cold polar air here that's been moving through, there you see it moving out on Tuesday morning. and then another batch of potentially very cold air moves in very close to us on Wednesday afternoon into Thursday. So, well, the way I see it is we get a very quick warm up on Tuesday afternoon. So we could go from -10 to 40 in one day, and then we'll cool down again on Thursday before we have a little bit of a warm up on Friday. And we'll have another Arctic blast coming this weekend. It doesn't look very significant, but it will cool us down once again for the end of the month. As far as those Arctic blast highlights, we've been tracking these stats, and it does look like we're going to end up here in about 92 consecutive hours of freezing temperatures. We've already seen a low of -11 and a wind chill of -30. That was this morning, and we're already in those snow totals range with 3 to 6 inches with that first wave of snow that comes through. So it'll just be icing on the cake with this one. So as far as the records go, how does this stack up against history here? The -10 on Saturday night and the -11 this morning are just about 9 degrees away from the record. Tomorrow morning's probably -18 is probably safe. And then the -15 on Tuesday, I think that could be in jeopardy. If we're going to break a record, that might be it, because we have the coldest air coming on Tuesday morning, and that record standing at just -15. So that is your forecast in a nutshell there. I hope it does give you an opportunity to help with your planning. And as far as tonight, we'll be watching the snow, that wave of snow, move from Fort Collins down into the Denver metro area tonight. We'll have more on that at 9 o'clock and also on 10 o'clock with the 9 News. Kathy Sabin will be in to give you the forecast, and I will be reporting from right here in the 9 News Weather Bureau in Arvada to see what type of snow we end up with and how cold we get tomorrow morning and Tuesday. So thanks for joining us. That's the forecast. I hope that you all have a great week.